What is up, guys? AV17 here, back at it again with a brand new video. And today we're going to be doing a me talking part 7 video. And yeah, I think this will be just a fun video in general. I haven't played Assassin's Creed Unity in a long time. And yeah, I figured we should do like a live commentary type thing, like we always do in the Me Talking series, because it always started off with just live commentary instead of, you know, edited commentary. It just started off with me recording my phone and just playing and talking at the same time, instead of just having like a voiceover. And that's what we're doing now, but we're actually recording on the PS4 like we always do. It's just a little thing to explain anybody that's kind of new to my channel, because that's literally my second YouTube video that was posted on my channel. It's a me talking video, and yeah, this is the part 7. And yeah, the last one was made 3 months ago, and you know, I've had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about, that I thought would be fun to talk about in a me talking video. So yeah, let's just, you know, jump straight into this. Is completely unedited. I'm just like talking and crap like that. Well, the only edited part is probably the beginning section where I had to wait like 20 seconds for the game to load, but you know what I mean. It's everything where I'm talking is unedited, so it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be just me mumbling, stuff like that. Yeah. This is almost like the beginning sections where I have my character floating around in space, but instead of that, it's actually just me, well, talking without that, you know, without like my character floating around in space with that animation on repeat. But yeah, anyway, let's just talk about what I was gonna talk about. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's a new Uncharted movie trailer that just came out yesterday, I believe. Yesterday or the day before yesterday, maybe. And yeah, it's second on trending on the entire YouTube page. I bet it was in first, like #1 on trending, like at first, I think. Like I bet it was the first thing at one point when it first came out. Maybe, I don't know, but it's, and you know, I've heard of this movie like in speculation and everything like that, and I've heard that the actor was going to be Tom Holland, and I thought it would be really weird because, you know, Tom Holland is like young and Nathan Drake is like 30 or 40 years old by the end of the Uncharted series. By the end of, you know, Uncharted 4, he literally has his own family and everything like that. And in the beginning of Uncharted, I think he's like 20 or 30. Like in Uncharted Drake's Fortune, I think he's like 20 or 30. I think he's 30, I'm pretty sure. He's in like his, I think, late 20s or early 30s or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. The point is, he's like, you know, he's not a super young kid. Tom Holland literally looks like a baby, but apparently he's like 20 something years old, which is just crazy to me. I mean, I guess it makes sense why they casted him as Peter Parker, but even being casted as Peter Parker still looks really young. Like, he just looks like a baby. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. He just looks really young. I don't know. It's just weird to me, but I guess they made it work. Like, they used I forgot the actor's name, but he's in this really funny movie called Ted, where like he has a magical teddy bear that like talks. It's like alive. It's like a comedy movie. I forgot his name of the actor, but I think he's playing Sully. And it's just weird to me because like in the game, Sully is really old. Like, he literally has white hair, and you know, in the movie that's not the case at all. Like, he's really just, he looks like he's just slightly older, so it's weird. It's like pursuing, like, I'm pretty sure they're trying to repeat like Uncharted Drake's Fortune. What the frick? I was just floating on nothing at that point. That was really weird. But they're like, based off from the trailer, or you know, based from like the movie, like, or the trailer or whatever, like from the video of the actual trailer, um, sorry, it's hard to play and talk at the same time because I'm trying to focus on what I'm saying. It looked like they were showing Nathan Drake like in like from they were it looked like they were showing the Nathan Drake from Drake's Fortune, because in Drake's Fortune he wears like a white shirt, and you know he like has like a ring necklace that says St. Parvis Magna or something like that. I don't know, I haven't played Uncharted in a long ass time, but yeah, like my point is I think they're repeating Uncharted Drake's Fortune, but in the movie. It's just weird to me though, because like all the characters are younger, and it looks like they're trying to mix like all of the Uncharted films, or not films, I'm so stupid, I mean all the Uncharted games into one film, which I think is going to be really difficult to condense, like literally 4 or even 5. I don't know if they're going to include Lost Legacy, but like it's going to be really hard to condense even just like the first and like entire movie, and they're probably doing like all 3 or 4 of them at least. Like it's just really weird to me, or not like 3 or 4, like literally, like I think they're doing at least 4 of the movies, because I saw later on in the video, or maybe in the beginning of the video, I think they showed Nathan Drake with his blue shirt, like a signature blue shirt from Uncharted 4, because he has different like shirts as the series goes on. I don't know. That's just he looks different every time. That's what I'm basically trying to say. And they look like it looks like it's jumping from different timelines, or it's gonna happen all smoothly and gradually move up. And or maybe there's flashbacks. I don't know how it's gonna be presented or told, the story, but it seems really interesting. And let's hope it's not rushed and like put through the door, because this comes out in February of 2022, and I don't know, that just seems kind of like, a bit too early for me. I don't know, but like I think they should really take their time with this, because if they mess it up, it's not going to be good at all. Like there's no chance it's going to be good if they mess it up, because there's so many things in the Uncharted series that have happened, and it just makes just the character like of Nathan Drake and Sully's relationship like just so iconic. There's so many iconic moments, I'm trying to say, like in the actual like games, and they really need to just make sure they do it right, so that they can capture that feel that they have. Like in Uncharted 1, you're looking for the City of Gold, like El Dorado, the City of Gold, and there's like a golden coffin, and it spawns or it doesn't spawn. Anybody that comes in contact with the coffin gets like cursed, and they turn into like this weird mummified zombie thing. It's actually really creepy. When I was really young, like the sections near the end of the game would freak me the hell out. Like I would be so scared to actually like explore anywhere like in those sections, because near the end of the game you're like in these catacombs, and you have to solve like puzzles and stuff, and there's like a lot of platforming you have to do, and puzzle solving, and then later on you have to like guide your friend and shoot through enemies, and then there's like, I think you find your ancestor, I forgot his name. I don't know how, but yeah, I think it's Sir Francis Drake. Sir Francis Drake. I think you find his skeleton, and then like I think before that, I think there's like either before or after you team up with, I think, one of the villains or something like that, and you attack and try to like kill like all of the weird like zombie like mummies or whatever the hell they are. And then in Uncharted 2, oh shoot, am I gonna die? Yeah, I'm gonna die. I basically just committed suicide. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Alright, I'm just testing how loud I am. Alright, I should be good. This is kind of late at night. It's like 11, so I don't want my mom to catch me recording anything. But yeah, like in Uncharted 2, I'm trying to remember. In Uncharted 2, there's like I think you meet like two different people. I think you meet Cole. Is that her name? Cole Fraser. I might be mixing someone. I might be mixing their names up. I don't know. I forgot. You meet this girl and her boyfriend, and you all think of like you know, breaking in to this place to find like a treasure. Like you find, I think you're like trying to find like an ancient artifact to like sell for money. And eventually when you make it there, like after like past all the guards and all that stuff, you find like a what the hell is it called? It's like you like put tea in it or something. Well, you wouldn't do that with this artifact, but it looks like one of those like tea kettle things or whatever. And Nathan Drake he breaks it and then opens it up, and there's like these rocks. I forgot what they're called, but they're like these, I think, fluorescent rocks or something like that. That when you light them on fire, it like makes a blue flame or something. It like makes a blue flame, and he gets a paper that he found, and he puts it over the blue fire, like where it was produced from the fluorescent rocks when he like lit them on fire. It makes this like special pattern on the paper that you can only see if you shine the fluorescent like fire from the rocks or whatever, like that specific type of fire, like on the paper, and it shows like a secret map. And then you get like betrayed by your partner, and then you have to there's like a chase sequence, and then you're thrown in jail or in prison for like I think a year or two, or maybe a couple of years, I forgot. But then you go into the jungle, you attack a bunch of guards or agents or whatever, like a crime organization, like always. Well, in the first game, you don't really fight a crime organization. Well, you do in the second half of the game. You do fight agents and stuff like that. But in the first half, you fight pirates. But regardless, in the second game, you fight agents, I'm pretty sure. And eventually, I'm skipping ahead quite a bit, but I think you make it to like you make it to this village, I think. Hold up. This is really difficult. Okay. You eventually, after you're out of the jungle, you make it to this ruined city, right? And you have to solve puzzles and come around and like, just survive. And there's really cool sections in this war-torn city. Especially the building sections and stuff like that, when you're attacking at a building that's falling down and you have to slide down the building and jump all the way from it. But then eventually, like, you have to catch this train because I think the guard has the treasure because they stole it from you. And there's this really cool sequence. I always replay train sections in any Uncharted game because they're just so much fun. But there's like this sequence where you have to keep going up and up, like in the train, and eventually you make it to this snowy region, and the train crashes after you attack a bunch of different enemies. And after, like, when you start this boss fight, this boss fight, when you start this boss fight, there's this really tough guy you have to kill, and eventually you're wounded, and you have to, well, in the cutscene, you shoot a barrel, like a propane tank, like you shoot a couple of them, and it blows up the entire train, like part of the train, and it makes the entire train crash. And you nearly die when the train is like hanging over the edge of like a huge drop off point, like of a mountain or something like that. And you climb all the way up, you barely escape, and then you do some more parkour, like from ruined train areas. It's actually from ruined train areas, but it's actually the beginning area of like the tutorial. and then you wake up from it as like a nightmare, and then you realize that happens later on in the game. It's actually pretty cool the way it ties in, and it, you come back to it, but anyway, then you're like really weakened, and you find like, I think one of the artifacts you find from like doing a puzzle in the city from like the secret temple, you find like one of the artifacts you need. It's like a key or something, and it's almost like a dagger, and you're really weak, and you're like bleeding and everything like that, and then a bunch of enemies come, and you have to like kill them, and then you climb over like the cliff or whatever, and it triggers a cutscene, and then in that cutscene, you pass out, and then you wake up in like this village on the top of the mountains where it's not like freezing cold. I mean, there's snowy mountains in the distance, but like it's like a lot more of a warmer environment. And this guy helps you, and you make it into these ruins inside of like a frozen cave in a mountain, like way far away from the village, and you find these ancient monsters that are like trying to protect, I guess they're trying to protect like these artifacts, and because they were changed by what happened, and there was like a secret city that you eventually find after the military raids the village to try to look for what you have, and you go like you eventually find this, you go to this huge like fortress, fighting enemies after enemies after enemies with Elena, and eventually you make it underground. You go to this underground area where you like do this puzzle, and you open up like this huge area for it's like it's this like area that's like a secret city or something like that, and then all hell breaks loose, and you like barely escaping. You have to fight against a bunch of enemies. You have to make it out of the city. There's like this tree that like gives you infinite like, just I don't know, it basically makes you immortal the more of like the tree you consume or something like that. It's like, I don't know, it's just weird blue stuff. And yeah, this guy, the main villain, like the big boy boss or whatever, this dude, he just won't stop like eating it or whatever, or like chasing you, because I think he like ate some of the blue stuff or something like that, or he used it and it got him like really powerful, and basically becomes like this huge blood sponge. And there's this like cool sequence where you have to like run around and evade him, like in this area where you're surrounded, where you have to like run around a tree, and then you kill him eventually, and yeah, then you survive by like escaping this like through this like bridge that collapses as you're running through it with your friends, with your injured friends, with Elena and I think Cole. And yeah, you make it and you survive. And then in the third one, this is gonna be a long video. It's already 19 minutes, but I'll let you know, and like for timestamps and stuff like that. For like Uncharted 3, it's basically the same thing, but you go to like, well, it's not exactly the same thing. Okay, it's hard to explain it. It's hard to explain it in like a nutshell. But you go to like a desert, which is like the location. It's like this location to find this treasure, right? And yeah, it's a really good game. There's so many different like areas, and yeah, okay, whatever. You get the point. Uncharted 4, it's the same thing, but you go to a bunch of different like islands and stuff like that, and a bunch of different regions. Whatever. Just play the Uncharted games, please. If you haven't played them already, just please play them. They're so good, seriously. Except for Lost Legacy, that game wasn't really that good. It really disappointed me, but I guess it kind of makes sense because it's not that big of a game. It's not like a AAA game. But either way, like play all the Uncharted games, at least up to 4. Like, it's really fun. and it's definitely worth your money. And it's probably hella cheap right now because they're like all old. I think the oldest Uncharted game right now, or the most recent Uncharted game that's like in the mainline series, was made in like 2016. So like I would definitely go on and buy one of the Uncharted games, or not one, all of them. Like seriously, they're like dirt cheap, and they're some of the best games you'll ever play on any system in general. That's like so many people will agree with me on that. Like it's just such a good game series, and you know, I'm just wonder how, you know, how are they going to condense all of those movies or all those games into one movie, you know? Because it already took me quite a large portion of this video to explain, and I didn't even explain it in full detail, like aside from the, you know, Uncharted 2, I guess. But even that, like I didn't explain it in full details, and everything was all over, like all my details were all over the place. So, you know, it's not the best way of like showing you what it actually is. Really, the only way you can really experience it yourself is by either watching like an entire playthrough of it, or by playing it yourself, which I definitely recommend if you have the time for it. But anyway, yeah, that's one of the topics. The next one is about Battlefield 2042 and Dying Light 2. Now here's the thing. I've talked about Dying Light 2 in the last me talking video in part 6, and you know, I was really hyped for it, but you know, some weird stuff has happened recently, or maybe like a month or two ago. Maybe not exactly recently, but Dying Light 2 and Battlefield 2042 both got delayed, but we'll talk about Dying Light 2 first, alright? And its problems, but you know, I haven't seen any last gen gameplay, I'm pretty sure, for Dying Light 2. And it kind of concerns me because I don't want, you know, Techland to pull a Cyberpunk. I mean, Cyberpunk worked perfectly fine on my PS4, like even a month after release. But I mean, like for most people, I'm saying, you know, most people said they experienced lots of bugs and lots of issues. You know, I don't want this studio to mess this game up, you know, and you know, just make it horrible for people with a last-gen console. You know, it's just like, I really want this game to be good, and I think it will be. It's just there's some things that are odd about it. Like people have talked about how there's weird animations that seem slow in the trailers, but they could also be like effects that they just add into the trailer. Like I'm not sure, but you know, that's something. I have heard that they are gonna show last gen gameplay, but I don't know when. And it was only like through a meme video, but I think it actually was legit because it looked like it was through Discord, and it was like Techland and stuff like that. But yeah, let's just hope they show last gen gameplay, because if they don't, then you know, stuff is gonna be weird. Like it's like they're hiding stuff, like with Cyberpunk. Like they didn't really show any last gen gameplay on there for that game. Well, maybe they did. I'm not sure. I don't think they did though. But anyway, oh shoot, let's talk about Battlefield 2042. So, you know, I've been live streaming lots of Battlefield 4 lately. I just started live streaming it like the other day. Well, not the other day, like maybe a couple weeks ago. Like I think in the beginning of October or something like that. But anyway, yeah, you know, I've been really enjoying it. Because I just like Battlefield, and like I just really like Battlefield as a series in general. I haven't played that many games, surprisingly, but I still like just all the Battlefields I've played so far. Yes, even Battlefield 5, even though, you know, I've heard like, you know, Battlefield 5 was like the worst Battlefield experience or whatever compared to other Battlefields. I still like Battlefield 5 a lot, even though it should have been called like Battlefield 2, because, you know, they made a Battlefield 1 set in World War 1 because, you know, they just had it set in World War 1, so they called it Battlefield 1. So they just should have called Battlefield 2, or they just should have called Battlefield 5 Battlefield 2 or Battlefield World War 2 or Battlefield World War 1. Like, I don't know. The name is really dumb in my opinion. I don't know. I think it's odd. Like, they should have just called it that, because none of the games really are linked to each other in any way, except for Battlefield 2042. I think that's going to be linked with Battlefield 4, because I think I think Irish is being carried over from that game as like a pre-order bonus or something like that. I think, and Irish is like a person in Battlefield 4 that you play as in the campaign, but Battlefield 5 doesn't relate anything with Battlefield 4, so like, it's literally just set in World War 2, so I would just call it Battlefield 2, or Battlefield World War 2, if they called a Battlefield 1 World War 1, but whatever, you guys know what I mean. But anyway, you know, for Battlefield 4 2042, I've seen gameplay of what last gen looks like, and it looks like it's substantially. I don't think I'm saying that right. Okay, what I'm trying to say is I've seen gameplay for what last gen Battlefield 2042 looks like, and you know, it's good that they're showing last gen gameplay, but the problem is, well, the company itself didn't show it, but other people have played it on the last gen, like last gen console, that they pre-ordered it and were able to play the beta on there. And you know, from what I've seen, most people have said that it doesn't work well, or I've seen, well, no, I haven't heard people say that, but I've seen lots of videos. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. I've seen like videos of people playing on last gen, and it's either really like buggy or something like that, or it's not, or it works fine, but there's lots of things that are dumbed down in it, like the map size is lower, you know, there's less people like playing, and that does make sense. They do have to balance it, but the maps are substantially like smaller. Like, it's kind of weird, like the way it is. Like, I mean, it makes sense because there's not as many people. Like, it's only 60 players, but it's still a lot. But on PS5 and Xbox Series X, it's like 120 or something like that, 120 players, and you know, they gotta have bigger maps. But so they have the bigger maps. They have the maps that are from last gen, but extended and way bigger. And they're like overwhelmingly bigger. Like, it has like a surrounding area that's like all like just hills and stuff like that, but it's just a bunch of wilderness and stuff like that. It's pretty cool, and it has like scattered bases all around it, and then there's like this huge area in the center, or this main area that's like a space station. That's what the beta map is like. But for last gen players, it's only that area. It's only the area that you go into. Granted, it is big, but I feel like it's still like pretty small. Like, I'm pretty sure there's like maps that are almost as big as the map in the like beta for Battlefield 2042 for last gen consoles. Like, you know, I feel like there should be an option if you want to like host a server on a bigger version of the map. I mean, maybe it might tax performance, but I don't know. They have to find a new way to like do this stuff, and I'm actually not surprised with how the gameplay is. Like, I'm not really that pleased with it. I mean, I'm glad you're able to like edit weapons on the go, and all that stuff, kind of Crisis style, like much of people have like, you know, said, like many people have said that's like Crisis, you know, and I think that's pretty cool the way they're tackling, you know, editing your weapons. But you know, the thing about everything else though is that, you know, there's lots of like movement that you could do in Battlefield 5 that aren't carried over in Battlefield 2042. Like, you can't go on your back, you can't like, I don't think you can like, I don't know, just a lot of things. I kind of forgot because like, I don't know, I'm like distraction. I'm kind of tired. You know, I'm playing at the same time. But there's lots of things that are missing that were from Battlefield 5. And yeah, it seems like it's either broken on last gen, or the experience is just kind of like really dumbed down and watered down. Like, honestly, if it's that watered down, I feel like it should only be on next gen, because like, if you really want to bring out the true chaos and destruction of like really large scale maps in Battlefield and have that only to be in like next gen, I think that would be good. You know, instead of focusing on last gen and dumbing down the experience, why don't they just go full on, you know, head first into just next gen, like primarily, like if they're gonna dumb it down substantially. But I don't know how the other maps are gonna turn out. I haven't seen any gameplay of the other maps, I'm pretty sure. Well, aside from like little snippets in the trailers, but I haven't seen any gameplay of other people playing on them, which is really what matters. I'm about to commit suicide. Was that the same place from before? I think it was. But anyway, you know, I just hope that Battlefield 2042 is a good game. I'm probably not gonna get PlayStation anytime soon. Because, you know, that crap is a lot of money. So I might get it on PS4, but I'm only gonna get it if the reviews are good for the game. Like, I'm gonna watch Angry Joe Show like as soon as that game comes out, like as soon as he rates it or whatever. But another thing, so on October 7th, I'm pretty sure, of this month, Far Cry 6 came out, and yeah, I really want to get the game, but you know, it's like a full price game, and it's gonna I'm gonna have it on PS4, so I'm probably gonna get it at the end of this month, I think, or maybe, or not. Actually, no, not at the end of this month. Maybe in the beginning of next month or something like that. I think that's when I'm gonna get the game, because that's when I meet my dad, and my dad's is like gonna be the only one that's probably gonna be able to buy the game for me. So, yeah, I definitely want to get Far Cry 6 because, like, you know, literally the beginning of my channel was me playing Far Cry 3 in 2020. And you know, that game is just such a good game. It's like one of the best Far Cry games I've ever played, and you know, it literally built like the foundation for most of my gaming experiences like later on in my life. Like, it's one of the first games I had on my PS3, and it was just bomb. Like, it kicked ass. Like, I loved Far Cry 3 so much. I've restarted it so many times. I haven't beaten it multiple times, but I have restarted it multiple times. You know, but I actually got far. You know, like in that video, I was on the second island. And you know, I was just screwing around because at the time I was playing a lot of Far Cry 3 and actually trying to get the story done, and it was really fun when I fully invested myself into it and I actually understood the themes of what, like, and what was going on behind the scenes in Far Cry 3. You know, I wasn't like a little like 8-year-old that didn't know anything about storytelling or just like, you know, just what fun gaming experiences really are. You know, like, I forgot what I was saying earlier, but like, I'm trying to say that, you know, now I actually appreciate games more and I understand a lot more about them, and I'm really happy about that I'm able to enjoy games like to their fullest. You know, especially when they're well-crafted games like Far Cry 3. But yeah, like, it definitely seems like more similar to Far Cry 3, and it looks really fun, and the map looks ginormous. And from what I've heard, the map is not a smidget smaller compared to the one from last gen. So, you know, that sounds really good. You know, I think I would really be happy with having, you know, just like a Far Cry 6 game set in an environment that's like Cuba. You know, like, I just think that'd be really cool. And the protagonist seems interesting. The actor of the protagonist, like the actor that plays the protagonist, he's actually the same actor that plays the person in Breaking Bad. It's like this person in Breaking Bad. I don't know. He's like this main dealer or something like that. that Walter White starts working with eventually, like in the series. Whatever, I'm getting a little bit off topic, but you know, that show's awesome. You guys should definitely watch it if you're old enough. I don't know, watch it if you want. I guess you can. I mean, I can't tell you what to do really. I mean, I can, but you don't have to listen to me. But whatever, like, you know what I mean. Like, you should just watch it. You should watch it if you're mature enough to know like themes about drugs and just literally any adult things, because that's really what it's about. But yeah, it's a really good show. Okay, I would really recommend it to anyone that, you know, is kind of mature enough or whatever to understand it. If you don't understand it, then it's not going to be fun at all, and it's going to be pretty boring and weird to you. But yeah. Anyway, I think Far Cry 6 is going to be awesome when I play it, and I think it's going to be it's going to be a really fun video when I play. The only thing I don't know what to do is, like, you know, what should I call the video? Like, I'm not going to call it Far Cry 6 in 2021 because, like, it came out in 2021, so I'm just not going to do that. You know, it just seems dumb to do that. I was gonna stop there. No, don't. What do you mean? Just stop now. That's what I'm saying. I was gonna stop it right now. Oh, okay. I was gonna like post it or whatever. Okay. Yeah, guys, I kind of talked for too long. So yeah, that's my me talking part 7 video. Yeah, my mom, you know, she found me a recording. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to support my channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next AV17 video. You were supposed to die there. Why won't you die? Die. Bye-bye.